So, I'm back with another edited video. Here we go. I'm not here to recap the entire chapter 1149, but I'll start off with the main points, and then halfway through, we're going to talk about Brook. Robin, she can try as much as she wants, but to no avail. She was not able to do anything really, as we all know now. Jinbei told her too, like, the way you fight, your fighting style, it's completely countered by Summer's ability. Okay, Scalper was able to damage Summers in this chapter. We all know this. Chopper chased him so he could find out how he was able to damage an immortal opponent, right? This leads us to the encounter that we end up seeing of Scalper versus Gunko. And Scalper is apparently also a member of the Hockey Man group, okay? He's able to see with his future sight hockey far enough to know that Colin's going to be killed, so he starts to surrender. He doesn't want to see his son die. He already saw it once with the future sight. He's not trying to see it in reality, okay? After that happens, one of the biggest events happens in the chapter, right? Gunko, she has a memory lapse of some sort. Her hearing Colin yell out father makes a memory trigger of her or someone who looks like her yelling out father, and a man who looks like Brook singing next to her, ho ho ho, yo ho ho, okay? You know the pirate song, we all know the song, okay? So this is the meat and bones of the chapter. I want to get into this right now. I want to say first and foremost, Summers, I think his thorns are red. That's a side note. And we see how Scalper's the name of his move is named after music. That's going to come into play for what I'm about to be saying later also. But I just want to also say the main thing, Brook, it's so important because I think that we all kind of knew something was up with Brook and Gunko. We knew something was there, something was up with them, those two characters, right? But now we have the 100% confirmation that this is the thing. And Brook's past, it's been written in such a way by Oda where you know this is also a sign of, like, this is a strategy of good writing where you plant the seeds of something while you're writing it and you leave enough of it vague, not only so it can leave the readers intrigued about what's really there, but you can also answer this question later. You can choose to answer it or not. So you give a substantial amount of story or detail initially, so you don't need to answer anymore. But if you need to, but if you want to, you can. Okay, so that's what Oda's doing. He's coming back to this character same way he's gonna do with other characters, and he has done with other characters. Nami can get it. Okay, that's funny. But like Zoro's already gotten a little bit of that treatment. Sanji is a character who's definitely gotten that treatment, okay, with the Vinsmoke thing. That leads me into another thing. I mentioned Vinsmoke. Brook's backstory. We know that he was on the Rumbar Pirates with his captain, Yorkie, and his group got lost at sea, okay? And before then, I'm reading the events out in the wrong order, okay? First of all, Brook was a man doing his own thing a long time ago. Before he joined the group, he was a part of a royal convoy that we do not know the name of. He joined the crew of pirates named the Rumbar Pirates way later in his life, okay, after being part of this royal convoy, which this convoy could have been a part of anything that could be defined now. It could have been connected to the Holy Knights. It could have been something that, was just directly part of Mary Joie or some other important family in the past. He could have served the Nefertaris. We don't know. We're going to find that out, okay? And another thing that's mentioned vaguely is, after he was with the pirates, his captain Yorkie got sick, and Brook ended up becoming the leader of the Rumbar pirate crew. He became the captain. So Brook was a captain in the past, right? So he became a captain, and he went on some adventures with his crew, later to be attacked by a strong pirate group, a tough pirate group. I don't think he ever specified the name, but he said it was a pirate group that attacked him and his crew. And as they were dying out and trapped in the calm belt, because they got trapped in the calm belt, as they were dying out trapped in the calm belt after being ravaged by this other enemy crew, they slowly all died out. Brook was the only one who stayed alive. He recorded that song for Laboon on the tone dial, and that's where we know his story to begin from there. His body got lost for a year, searching for his his soul got lost when it left his body for a year, because he was, in the calm belt, so the boat was enshrouded by fog. He didn't know how to get back. After a whole year, he got back, found the Punk Hazard Island where Dr. Hogback and Gecko Moria were and all that sort of shit, and he got his soul taken. That's where we know him from there. So all that shit, I say all that to say that the vague part of what crew attacked him can also be something that gets mentioned and defined now. He could have been attacked by Rocks pirates. He could have been attacked by some other sort of prolific pirate crew at that time. For all we know, like there was only I can't even. I'm not even going to guess the years, but I know the years is not too unbelievable to assume that it was around the time where the Rocks pirates were lurking about, right? Because Brook is old. He's about 100 years old. So the other plus 50 years of his life, him being this leader of this group, and his body language. Let's go back to the panel with him introducing himself to Luffy and the crew. His body language kind of suggests always some sort of like knightly, royal, body language and shit like that. So this honor that he mentions again in Elbaf, being his honor to his captain, almost like a knight would to their king. Brook has been showing this time and time again. He's always been steadfast in situations, although I didn't like Brook at first because I thought he was a goofball, but when he got serious, he got serious. And in every serious situation, he's steadfast. So Brook is used to this kind of pressure, okay? That's the Krillin line for all you who don't know. But I say this to say, the fact that Brook is like a knight, this could fit directly into him having something to do with the Holy Knights. He could have been a smaller branch of the Holy Knights. He could have been in the Holy Knights, right? He could have been attached to them in some sort of way. He's in a royal envoy, a convoy. So being the leader of a convoy means that he's leading multiple ships. Because convoys, you're leading vehicles. That's what a convoy is. So you're leading them to battle or to protect things. So he's either protecting Mary Joie or he was fighting a part of some sort of battle that happened back then when he was before he was a pirate. And this is before he was a pirate, mind you. So that scar on his forehead could possibly be something that he received from a holy knight or some other people that have connections to do with the Marines and the world government. Okay, and that's also something that I've heard some other people say. I've thought that as well before, though. So, I like I said, I always throw the credit out when I haven't thought of an idea only by myself, and I'm mentioning it because I heard it online. I'm not going to take the sole credit for it. Yeah, I've heard that one online. His scar on his forehead could be from like the Holy Knights or some shit, one of the Holy Knights. And that type of thought was never far from my head. I kind of thought that before, but I just thought I should note that. I think this is almost like an obvious tie-in to Brook's character, the French aesthetics between his clothes and his fighting style being fencing. Gonko was using a rapier, the fencing weapon that French swordsmen use, and then all of their clothes, like what century would it be? Like not 19th, like 17th century. Is that the right one? 18th, 17th century French soldier armor with the buttons and like the jackets and the hats and all that sort of stuff. So their whole aesthetic with this European ensemble being intertwined, their characters, and that representing the Holy Knights and where they're from. And Brook, I think it's laid out right there. Oda apparently might not like people speaking on speculation. I have this Japanese YouTuber that I want to watch because he speaks English and he speaks Japanese, so he can understand the specific context in which this whole controversy was said. I know this is a side note, I'm digressing, but me speaking of a theory, I just thought of that. Like, Oda doesn't like theories, apparently. I heard this. This is some little news I heard, so I don't know. I just mentioned it real quick in this video. I think I mentioned it in the video before, so you go check out those videos where I'm kind of ranting and rambling. I say some good shit in there sometimes, but I think I'll come back to this style of video more often. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start closing the video up here, man. There's not much else to say. Okay. I think I mentioned everything. Brook Scar, the fact that he might have been a holy knight when he was working in an envoy in the past. Okay. The music. Oh yeah, the music. I think music is going to be heavily linked to this idea, because even Nika's heartbeat is a music. I mean, it is a music. It's a drum beat. So that's music right there, right? So everything, I think this music is going to be deeply connected also to this sort of mysterious power that Emu seems to have, because Emu, like, it's just appearing and like people are underneath him, and that they're using, like, he's just killing people without touching them, and people are getting summoned. So this stuff, it really looks like One Piece is going to use some sort of like unexplicable, is that the word, unexplained, like, power, like akin to magic outside of devil fruits. Okay. And I also think like the music is going to come into play with this too. Music is going to be a part of that, because we have that one devil fruit user with the sound. He uses music to he uses sounds and music to hurt people. I think this type of devil fruit and a lot of other devil fruits are hints at how the world works. They're really hints at how the world works. See, because even Gunko's situation, I can compare it to the Punk Hazard, and I forget her name. It might be on screen, but I think her name was Victoria, Cindy Victoria, right? That's her name. I just remembered it randomly. That's crazy. But Dr. Hogback summoned his favorite actress, and he said, I don't care if her personality's there as long as her body's there. He was on some freaky shit, okay? We know what he was trying to do. He was hogbacking in that lab. That nigga's a freak. But anyway, yeah, so I think that whole situation in Punk Hazard is kind of representative of what we're dealing with now, like a person being trapped in a vessel, akin. And there's another situation it's happened multiple times in One Piece. Like, this has been hinted and thrown at us, and some people will call it parallels. There are parallels in a way, because like the situations are similar. And it's the same exact type of concept. A person being trapped in their body, their vessel, without their soul, or what it is that really makes them, whatever that would be defined as, okay? And it's often defined as the soul, okay? So, and the emotion and stuff, that emotion, I think this whole tie-in with emotion and this intangible energy and power, not hockey, but something, like I said, akin to magic, and the drum beat of Nika, and the music that Brook plays, and how he can play music to actually paralyze people and hypnotize them. And it actually happens. It happens so quick, and it might seem like it's not something that's happening. For a minute, I thought it was a gag or something, like people just like the music. But it didn't take for too long for me to realize, oh shit, nah, he's actually doing that. I'm watching the anime, so I was a little confused. But I realized he's actually doing that shit. So the music really holds power in a lot of ways. I think music could be something that they're gonna make these devils who, presume to be gods. They're not gonna like music in a lot of ways. I don't think they're gonna like music. I don't know if any of the girls have ever mentioned anything about music ever, but they might not like it, or they might like a certain specific type of music. You know what I mean? And so, I think that's even why the Holy Knights, and the Celestial Dragons and stuff don't like music. What if they're all of this demon kin, and, of this kind of people? So, that's why they share similarities. I'm going in too much speculation territory. But I don't know. I just wanted to say all that because I feel like, Oda's also said, like, devil fruits, anything in the world that can't be explained naturally, like devil fruits is probably the answer to it. And I think that goes hand in hand with the fact that devil fruits kind of explain the world. You know what I mean? Like that their nature and what they are, these desires, especially that after we know that they're directly almost like, directly linked to people's desires that have existed over time. So different people over time have wanted and dreamed of certain things, probably based on what they've seen and know in life to be true or not true. So there's a lot of stuff going on in One Piece right now, man. It's getting real crazy. I think I might end this video soon because I don't have anything else to talk about. I'm not going to try to stretch it out to 20 minutes. I never try to stretch it out to 15 or anything. So like it just ends up happening, man. I don't know, man. I think under Gunko's hat, she probably has horns under there. She might have horns under that hat, and her face, her teeth might be spiky or some shit. She might have fangs. I feel like not Stussy exactly, but almost Stussy-like. I don't know. I'm just thinking. What if Stussy's really from that side of things too? What if that's just how she is? Because that's the lineage she's from. I feel like this devil lineage is going hand in hand with giants. Because why did ancient giants have horns? Ancient giants have horns for some reason. And I think the horns, it might not even matter what type of horns. Like, I'm starting to think even, I think I mentioned this before to somebody. Like, no, I don't think the sheep guy with his horns, I don't think those count because there's a different type of horns. It's like sheep horns. Nigga, I'm thinking even him, he could be a fucking demon. At this point, I feel like even Mary, the going Mary, like Mary could have been a demon at this point. I feel like, I don't know. They do have some sort of like, sometimes they have animal people in the world of One Piece. Like a couple weird looking animal people. But other than that, nah, man, he could very well just be a demon, bro. He could be a demon unless he ate the lamb fruit. And there's other characters, like I said, Gunko might have horns hidden under her hat for a fact. And this also links. There's just so many questions keep popping up. Like this also brings up again the fact that Brook got summoned to the island that worshiped demons, and they were talking about giving him a pair of panties in exchange for, the demons summoning or whatever like that. So the devil wanted panties, like Emu. I feel like Emu, the devil we all know, the top devil, like they're all devils over there and demons and shit. Like, I don't know, bro. This is crazy. They're getting summoned through pentagrams. The Gorosei, the Holy Knights, all the holy people are getting summoned through evil shit. And it goes back to what I was saying before a long time ago. It seems like Oda, he's that type of dude who's going to flip things around. That's why the history's been flipped around. That's why Nika lost, or Joy Boy lost, I should say, because he's the most recent incarnation to fight this big, war that amounts to what will be in the future, right? So Joy Boy lost his side of things, and the future history goes on with condemning him and making him seem like a bad person, and the world government is the good people. That illusion is starting to break, and this is when the dawn is starting to begin, because a new world is going to begin to start getting created at this point in time, because everything's starting to crumble. This illusion of what the world really is, people are starting to flood and they're moving to higher ground. They're going to start rebelling against the world government already. That's why Mary Joie is on fire for a fact. And I think that might be a direct result of Dragon, but it's very possible it's not. It could be anybody at this point, I feel like, because I think the world is getting so turbulent. It's not unbelievable for somebody else to try to attack Mary Joie, and for Dragon to be like, next time we see him, he's like, bro, what? Somebody's already attacking? Like, bro, what the fuck going on? Like, he's like, nah, I got to get moving now. So it's not hard for me to see that happening either. Okay, because there's so much happening, and the world is shaping up to be like this pentacle, this accumulation of like the third part of that mural is going to be happening. I think that's what we're getting to now, man. And this war is going to start happening, and we're gonna have to see, and hopefully, let's see if I'm right about that mural. Like, I was talking about that mural, like that, you know, them demons, the people fighting what looks like a demon, and they fighting this demon. Let's see if they gonna be fighting. Who they gonna be fighting? Like the world government? They gonna fight all the Gorosei? What if the Gorosei members fused? See, now I'm wondering what Saint Garling, Figurlin Garling. I wonder what he looks like as a Gorosei transformation now, because he's a Gorosei member. I'm sure he could transform. I'm just curious about a lot of stuff, man. Brook got summoned to the island of panties and demons. I wonder why Kuma did that on purpose. Kuma's been alive for a long time. He's read many books. Did he summon Brook to the island on purpose or accident? How does the pawpaw fruit work exactly? I might have to research that after I make this video. Does the pawpaw fruit summon people not only to where the wielder wants them to go, but where like they feel like they should be at, or some shit? Is it some intangible shit like that? You know, they get sent to a fated spot or some shit. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But hey, if you fuck with the video and you made it this far, you fuck with the speculations, you know, leave a comment down below. Like, all that if you want. It's your choice. Well, yeah, before I go out, I wanted to say people thought this was a Usopp arc. It was secretly a Brook character arc this whole time. It was a Brook arc the whole time. Brook's getting his own arc. And by the way, I wanted to mention, like, more and more, if Emu, because like presume this is obviously Emu, right? Obviously Emu that possessed Gunko at the end of this chapter. Emu, what if Emu can just possess motherfuckers out here? What if King Jaro was like, nah, bro, I don't want to listen to you, Emu, and then Emu started possessing King Jaro, and then Loki had to kill his father because he was getting possessed by Emu. Yo, like, I just thought of this shit. Like, what if that nigga was getting possessed by Emu? It was like, nah, bro, fuck that. So, I don't know, bro. But like I said, hey, I'm out. Leave a like, subscribe, whatever, do what you gotta do, man. I'm out. Luffy and them boys definitely pulling up in the next chapter. There's no way they're not.